Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to East Gymnasium at Fort Lee High School, the setting for tonight's wrestling showdown between the Lodi Rams and the Fort Lee Bridgemen. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long. So glad that you could join us here on a Wednesday evening to kick off the beginning of a home slate of the season for this new era of Fort Lee Bridgemen wrestling, led by new head coach John Melendez in his first season. Fort Lee lost their opener on the road against Tenafly 51-24. This is their first match here at home, taking on a Lodi side that's led by head coach Dale Fava, participating in their first duel of the season. Our opening bout will be at 106 pounds. Lodi is expected to send out Vargas Giovanni, as Giovanni is the only one featured in this bout. No one for Fort Lee, so it will be a forfeit, as Vargas Giovanni will pick up the win and 6 points on the board for Lodi. Now we will have our first actual bout of the night at 113 pounds. Allison Benitez for Lodi in the blue and orange, and Sabika Almajanova for Fort Lee in the black and orange singlet. Almajanova won by disqualification against Tenafly in her first match of the season. She's 1-0. Benitez scores the takedown and takes an early 2-0 lead. Last season, Lodi went 3-6 overall in their team duels. Their wins came against Weehawken, Garfield, and Waldwick. Their losses on the season came against Manchester, Rutherford, Glenrock, Wayne Valley, Lenape Valley, and West Orange. Lodi is out of the NJIC, and Fort Lee is out of the Big North Conference. 2-0 lead here for Benitez. 40 seconds into the start of the first. Benitez trying to put her opponent on the back. Almajanova, Fort Lee, trying to escape the clutches there of Benitez, who was getting near-fall points counted off. Currently, it is a 2-0 advantage, but the next whistle, you'll have the near-fall points awarded. Still a 2-0 advantage here for Benitez. Almajanova on bottom trying to get out. Get an escape point here with less than a minute left to go in the first period. Benitez is still trying to gain and garner that control. Almajanova goes out of bounds a lower portion of the mat. They'll go back to the middle circle with 36.8 seconds left to go in the first. Benitez still riding on top as we approach the final 30 seconds of the first. There's the escape point for Fort Lee's Sabika Almajanova. Getting that first point, the final 20 seconds of the first. Benitez tries to set up the shot. Almajanova doing a good job of fending her off, trying to rotate around and score a late reversal here that could possibly give the Fort Lee wrestler her first lead. She does not score that, but her deficit will only be one heading into the start of the second period at 113 pounds. 2-1 advantage for Benitez. Allison Benitez of Lodi. Sabika Almajanova, a senior for Fort Lee in the black, to the right side of your screen. Benitez scored the lone takedown of the first period. Looks to get things going here to the start of the second, just like she did scored early in the first. Almajanova Now putting Benitez on her back, and she scores the takedown and the pin. Sabika Omjanova of Fort Lee scores a second period pin with 1:33 left to go in the period and has deadlocked this overall team score now at 6-6. We're thankful for our proud sponsors of these broadcasts, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction, and Fort Lee SC. We head to 120 pounds. Omar Asfour, the senior for Lodi. And Andrew Margolin for Fort Lee. Margolin, a junior, 1-0 on the season. He's in the black. He won by pin in his match against Tenafly. And again, this is the first duel of the season for Lodi. Margolin got put to his back early. Asfour was getting a couple of back points counted off as well. Trying to put Margolin in the cradle. Was able to flip out a little bit. Now again, he puts him back with back points being counted off already. It is a 4-0 lead for Asfour of Lodi. 40 seconds into the action here in the beginning of the first period at 120 pounds, our third match of the night. First match was a forfeit win for Lodi. Second match, a pin win for Fort Lee. Asfour is in control right now. He's jumped out to an early 7-0 advantage. 1 minute left here in the first period at 120 pounds. Last season, Fort Lee went 4-13 overall in their team duels portion of the season, but did win 2 out of their last 3 duels. Now there's a stoppage here. Another 2 points given to Asfour, who is going to be attended to by the training staff. Tom Herr is the trainer here at Fort Lee, as well as some of the coaches of Lodi coming over to attend to their wrestler. New man in charge here of this Fort Lee Bridgman wrestling program, John Melendez, has been a familiar face in these parts, has been a long-time assistant coach. Now takes over the main job here this season. And he's looking for his first coaching victory in charge of this Fort Lee program. And this, the first home match of the season. Not going to be a lot of home action here in East Gymnasium this season for the wrestling side. Only a couple of home matches listed overall. The next one's coming up on January 24th against Mawa. Then they'll wrestle Westwood on February 2nd and Cresskill on February 7th. They're going to take to the road a lot, so they want to make the most out of this time here at home against Lodi. Asfour is okay after that injury timeout. We're still getting back points counted off against Margolin. 3 more near fall. Increases the lead now to 12-0. Margolin's going to be trying to avoid giving up the pinfall. 3 more points would give a tech fall decision for Lodi's Asfour. Margolin got free, gets the escape. Gets his first point to cut into that deficit at 12-1 now. The final seconds expire here in the first period at 120 pounds. Neutral position to start off this second period at 120 pounds. It was all asked for in that first period. A 12-1 advantage. Asfour bringing Margolin down. Margolin shifting gears and pushing forward. Good wrestling between both sides to the lower left corner of the mats, and they'll go back to the neutral position in the inner circle. As for a senior again, one of the leaders in this lineup for Lodi. Gets 2 points on the takedown once again, extends his lead now to 13, 14-1. Again, if he gets to a 15-point margin, that would trigger the tech fall. That would give 5 more team points to Lodi. A pinfall victory would give the full complement of 6 points. As for did get the 2 points, and that will end it now. 16-1 tech fall with 49.6 seconds left to go in the second period. Here at 120 pounds, Omar Asfour of Lodi with the victory. Lodi will take back the lead for the second time in this duel, as they will now lead 11-6, heading to 126 pounds. Nor Marua of Fort Lee versus Kayla Janis of Lodi. As this is going to be the second matchup featuring a couple of female wrestlers in tonight's duel. Nor Marua, again in the black. Janice in the blue and orange. 2-1 lead for Janice after the initial takedown and then the escape point for Nor Marua. 1 minute gone by in the first period at 126 pounds. Richmond last season went 3-3 here at home at East Gymnasium, with wins against Dwight Morrow, Mawa, and Patterson Eastside. Another takedown for Janice, her second takedown to extend her lead now to 4-1. Janice trying to peel Nor a little backwards, expose her shoulder blades to a potential pin. 20 seconds left to go in the first at 126. Janice in control, a 4-1 margin. Again, trying to use that momentum. We're trying to keep off her back. 3 seconds left to go in the first. And that'll end the first with a 4-1 lead for Lodi's wrestler. Again, if you're just joining us, it's Lodi taking on Fort Lee in this home opener of the 2023-24 wrestling season for the Bridgmen. 0-1 on the season. This is the season opener for Lodi overall. Start of the second period. Nor gets the escape. But since that deficit, it's now 4-2. Janice trying to send her right back down to the mat. Near fall being counted off. So the takedown counted. An additional near fall now have extended the lead to 8-2. Janice still in control. She's been throughout the course of this match. As both wrestlers in the lower right-hand corner. Another 2 points near fall, 10-2 advantage now for Janice, as she's trying to get to bonus point situation. The minute gone by here in the second. Marua of Fort Lee has yet to really get into an offensive position, as it's been Kayla Janice in control from the get-go. Janice trying to use that momentum again to put Marua on her back. Near fall being counted off. Janice looking for an opportunity at a potential pin. Another 2 points on the takedown. That extends the lead now to double digits. It's 12-2. 33.1 left to go in the second period of 126 pounds. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, glad that he could join us here on the Fort Lee Broadcasting Network, here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Under 30 seconds left again. Marua trying to slither her way back forward so that she is not exposed to any more back points. 3 more near fall. It's up to 15-2 margin. Fort Lee just had a tech fall decision at 120 pounds, looking potentially to have another tech decision here at 126. It will go to the third, but Janice of Lodi in control by a 15-2 margin. Escape point now for Fort Lee's Nor Marua. Her third point. All 3 points in this bout have been courtesy of escapes. Janice, no control just yet to get the takedown in the 2. 30 seconds gone by here in the third period at 126 pounds. Now the takedown has been granted. Janice leads by 14. Near fall being counted off. Looking for the pin here. And she'll get it with 1:11 left to go in the third. A pinfall for Kayla Janice of Lodi. And that will extend the Lodi lead. Now to 17-6. To 132 pounds. Looks like it's going to be a forfeit. Or Brian Zekalari. Zekalari picks up the forfeit. And the lead grows for the visiting Rams. Now to 23-6. Ryan Mastrofilippo versus Michael Campisi of Fort Lee. Campisi in the black, Mastrofilippo in the blue for Lodi. Campisi lost by decision in his first match of the season against Tenafly, 12-5. 2-point lead already for Mastrofilippo, who had the initial takedown. Campisi trying to slide his way to the top left corner to get a restart and avoid Mastrofilippo's attempts to try to expose him from the canvas. Lodi so far early on has been loading up on bonus points. 2 forfeits, 1 pin, 1 tech fall. That has accounted for their 23-16 lead right now. Still a 2-0 lead for Mastro Filippo here. So we're coming up in the final 45 seconds of period number 1 at 138 pounds. We began at 106 pounds here this evening. And PC will head back down to the inner circle with a chance to get an escape and get on the board. Campisi is cut free. Gets the escape, cuts that deficit in half, now to 2-1. Ten seconds left to go in the first. And Mastro Filippo of Lodi will take a 2-1 lead with him into the start of the second period at 138 pounds against Fort Lee's Michael Campisi. Campisi will begin on bottom to begin the second. An escape here could not up the score at 2-2. Lodi's next scheduled duel is supposed to be after the new year against Garfield. Again, a lot can change in terms of the scheduling of some of these teams and participating in other tournaments. Campisi with the escape has leveled the score now at 2-2. Mastro Filippo is trying to score another takedown. Campisi trying to reach out of the leg, but Mastro Filippo rotates around and scores the takedown, and once again stretches margin to a 2-point lead, 4-2. He led early with an initial takedown, 2-0. After tonight's home duel, Fort Lee will next be in action on December 22nd on the road at Weehawken. Closing into the final 40 seconds of the second period here at 138 pounds. Under 30 seconds left to go, as you could hear Coach Melendez and the coaching staff for Fort Lee urging Campisi to try to get to his feet to get an escape point at least here just before the end of the second period. 10 seconds left to go. Mastro Filippo trying to expose Campisi to more points. And that will end the second period. A 4-2 lead for Lodi's Ryan Mastro Filippo heading into the start of the third, and Mastro Filippo has elected to start on bottom. Campisi trying to slam Mastro Filippo down, almost caught him in his clutches, but Mastro Filippo did a great job of rolling out of danger and also in the process got free for the escape to stretch his advantage now to 5-2, and now with an additional takedown, he'll stretch that lead now to 5 at 7-2. 40 seconds into the third period here at 138. Ryan Mastro Filippo of Lodi on top of Michael Campisi of Fort Lee by a 7-2 margin, as both wrestlers go out of bounds at the top right-hand corner of the mat. Lodi has begun this evening winning 4 out of the first 5 bouts, trying to make this 4 in a row since starting off their win streak at 120 pounds. Sabika Olmjanova as the lone win so far here tonight for Fort Lee with her pin at 113 pounds. Under a minute now left to go at 138 pounds, 7-2 lead for Master Filippo in the blue, riding on top of Campisi in the black. Still nothing going for Campisi. Tries to get to his feet. Is sent right back down again. He's just got a pair of escapes, counting for his 2. Now a stall warning against Campisi. Next one would result in a point awarded to Master Filippo. Under 10 seconds left to go in the third period. And Ryan Mastrofilippo of Lodi will hold on for a 7-2 decision here and add to the overall point total for Lodi, as their lead will now grow to 26-6. Again, we thank our proud sponsors of Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction, and Fort Lee SC. We move to 144 pounds. Schedule is going to be Kier Fuller for Lodi and Daniel Corey for Fort Lee. Corey in the black, trying to score the initial takedown against Fuller. Fuller is a senior for Lodi. Daniel Corey is a sophomore for Fort Lee. Fuller takes the shot and drops Corey down for the 2-point takedown. 2-0 lead for Fuller of Lodi. As Fuller still trying to hold on to the 2-point margin. Now, the escape along with the reversal. And now an escape here by Fuller, and it's knotted up at 3-3. Coming up in the final 20 seconds. Around and around we go here in the first period at 144 pounds. Fuller had raced out to a 2-0 lead on the takedown. Then a 3-point move just moments ago by Daniel Corey had given him briefly a 3-2 advantage, but then the escape by Fuller made that a 3-3 match. Fuller tried to score a late takedown there in the waning moments of the first period. Could not get that final takedown to count, so it's going to be 3-3 after the first 2 minutes of action at 144 pounds as we head to the second. And Corey of Fort Lee electing to start on bottom to begin period number 2. Corey was allowed to get to his feet to begin the second period, so he will take back the lead at 4-3 as both wrestlers in the inner circle in the neutral position. Corey's first match of the season for the Bridgmen, as Fuller trying to dump him backwards. Corey did a good job of fighting free, not allowing that 2-point takedown. And it allows Corey to still hold on to the slimmest of margins of 4-3 advantage 40 seconds into the start of the second period. Corey really hasn't taken that many opportunities at a shot just yet. Fuller's been the more aggressive wrestler so far. Fuller again goes for a shot, tries to dump Corey down and scores the takedown in the lower left-hand corner before both wrestlers went out of bounds. Fuller will take back the lead and then allow the cut and the escape back to the neutral position, so it will be a 5-5 bout right now. Fuller doesn't want to work when Corey has to be on bottom. He likes the opportunities when both are neutral and up top. Now Corey takes the shot. First time that he's being aggressive, driving Fuller backwards. And Corey trying to take the lead, and now he does with a 2-point takedown with under 30 seconds left to go in the second period at 1:44. Largest lead now for Fort Lee's Daniel Curry. He has led on a couple of occasions by 1, but this time he scores the takedown. And Fuller now works from a takedown deficit. 7-5 lead, 19 seconds left to go in the second. Fuller looking over to his coaching staff on the near left side, knowing that he needs an escape to pull a little closer. Can Corey keep him down for the final 19 seconds of the second and take a takedown advantage with him into the third? 10 seconds left to go in the second. 5 seconds left to go. And it will be an escape point given up by Corey with 1 second left to go in the period. That was a mental miscue there for the Fort Lee sophomore. He took his foot off the gas there. If he held on to him for 1 more second, it would have been a 7-5 advantage heading into the third. Instead, it is a 7-6 lead. Coach Melendez, to say the least, was not a happy camper after that. So instead of allowing him just to cut free, once again, he now has the match tied up at 7-7. Corey looking for the takedown in the lower right-hand corner. Fuller getting to his feet. Corey wrapped on to his ankle. Just couldn't complete the shot. Both go out of bounds in the lower right-hand corner. 7-7 your score. 1:34 left to go in the third. Here at our most contentious bout of the evening so far at 144 pounds. Corey looking for another takedown. Hasn't been granted the 2 just yet. Fuller trying to get out of his grasp. Coming up on a minute left to go in the third, and Corey gets the 2. Recaptures the advantage at 9-7. Coming up on 1 minute left to go in the third at 144 pounds. Breaking free, getting the escape. That time is Keir Fuller. Fuller is down by 1. Both wrestlers are exhausted right now. You kind of always see that early on in the season. Another takedown would pretty much put this one away for Corey. Does Fuller have enough in the gas tank right now? He does. He takes down Curry. No takedown. Now the takedown. He's taken back the lead with 29 seconds left to go. Curry gets to his feet. He gets the escape. It's 10-10. Fuller looking for a late takedown. No sign just yet. Now it is. Another takedown for Fuller. Puts Curry close to his back with under 10 seconds left to go. 12-11. Curry's got to go. He's down by 1. 2 seconds left. And time runs out as Keir Fuller, in an exciting showdown at 144 pounds, wins by a 12-11 decision. Twists and turns in that one. That was an exciting bout to say the least, but again, it goes the way of Lodi, who with the decision stretch their team lead to 29-6. Ergin Doko of Lodi taking on David Mamedov of Fort Lee. 29-6, the overall team advantage for Lodi. Trying to come on the road and hands the Bridgmen a loss. Ergin Doko, a senior for the Rams. Mamedov, a junior, 1-0, won by pin in his first bout of the season against Tenafly, and it looks like there might be a little blood time. Might be some blood trickling out of the nose of Mamedov of Fort Lee. Now, there are no Lodi wrestlers who had weighed in the next two bouts, so this could be a big swing bout here for the Bridgmen. Again, we thank our proud sponsors of Fort Lee Bridgmen Athletics here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. The law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, and Fort Lee SC. They help to bring the sights and sounds that all fans have been enjoying. We're at the start of this new winter season. We've been broadcasting some boys basketball, girls basketball the other day, and coming here with our debut of our wrestling broadcast coverage. And all of our broadcasts completely free, both live and on demand anytime. So you could go back and watch the action of some of the thrilling soccer games as well as volleyball matches from the fall. And looking forward to a fun winter season here at East Gym as well. As Tom Herr again tending to the blood time for David Mamedov. Mamedov won by pin early in the second period in his match against Tenafly in the season opener for the Bridgmen on December 15th. As they just try to wipe away all the blood that might have been getting on the arm as well as from the nose. 134, as you can see on the scoreboard in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. 134 left to go in the first period here at 150 pounds. Lodi has been in control, winning 6 of the first 7 bouts on the evening. They started at 106 pounds. They won by forfeit. Fort Lee's lone win came courtesy of Sabika Olumjanova. At 113 pounds, she won by pin. But since that point, Lodi won by tech fall at 120, won by pin at 126, won by forfeit at 132, and then back-to-back decisions at 138 and 144. As Doko also having some blood possibly cleaned off the back of his arm. Where that happened between both wrestlers. So Tom Herr has done his exceptional job as always, one of the best trainers around in Bergen County. So now we'll get back to wrestling with 134 left to go in the first here at 150 pounds. As they're just attending to a couple of other blood spots that were on the mat. Got the okay for the resumption of action. Doko in the blue and Mamedov in the black. Locked up around the back of the head. Both wrestlers still in the neutral spot. Mamedov trying to pull Doko down to the mat. Doko caught him there and sends him down for a 2. 2-point takedown there for Ergin Doko. Mamedov gets the escape and quickly trying to answer with a takedown. Was not awarded the takedown. So it's still a 2-1 deficit this time. Mamedov checking to his nose to see if he's bleeding again. Doko jumped and timed it perfectly there. Mamedov caught him though, tries to rotate around and score a reversal, did not get it. Both wrestlers showing off the speed in some of their moves here with under 30 seconds left to go in the first. Under 20 seconds left to go in the first. Still a 2-1 lead for Lodi's Doko. Tries to throw Mamedov down, but in doing so, both went out of bounds. 6 seconds left to go. Both retreat back to the inner circle in the neutral position. Doko trying to push Mamedov forward and nearly caught him, but saved by the buzzer that time. It looked like Mamedov, as Doko was trying to zero in on another potential takedown. He'll take a 2-1 lead with him into the start of the second period here at 150 pounds. Looks like more blood time right at the end of that first period.
Call for the Bridgman snack stand located in the media corner where you find candy, drinks, and chips.
So Mamedov seems to be okay. He'll start on bottom to begin the second. Mamedov trying to get to his feet. Both wrestlers go out of bounds in the bottom of the mat. They'll have to retreat back to the middle circle. An escape from Mamedov would tie this up at 2-2. Doko, the senior from Lodi, is well aware of that, trying to make sure that there's no escape. Mamedov not only gets the escape, but the reversal. 2-point swing now has given Fort Lee's Mamedov his first lead of the night at 3-2, 40 seconds into the start of the second period at 150 pounds. Lodi has won 5 straight bouts in this duel. Fort Lee in desperate need of a weight class to go their way after winning only 1 so far. Mamedov would give them a potential decision here, but there's still plenty of time remaining in this bout. Under 50 seconds left to go in the second period, as both wrestlers go to the top right corner. More blood time here for Mamedov.
In addition, this game is being live streamed for free, courtesy of the Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics Department. You can view the stream by going to YouTube and typing in Fort Lee Bridgman.
So blood time was very short variety that time. It was cut. Mamedov leading 3-2. Doko knows that an escape here would level the score. Late in the second, Mamedov throwing him right back down in the defensive position. Can Mamedov take a lead heading into the third? Doko on bottom, still trying to get that escape. Coming up on 20 seconds left to go in the second here at 150 pounds. Had a thrilling one in our last bout at 144 that went the way of Lodi's Keir Fuller. He won 12-11 in a frantic finish in that one. Are we due for some excitement here as we're heading close to the end of the third? No escape point granted that time. We saw in the last bout that was proving to be rather costly for Fort Lee. They held on to the lead there at the end of the second, so we head into the third period at 150 pounds. A 3-2 lead right now for David Mamadov of Fort Lee. As Ergen Doko of Lodi once again will assume the position on bottom to begin the third. Mamadov was trying to catch Doko as he was trying to get to his feet and could put him in a more precarious situation here. Mamadov again, 1-0 on the season, trying to go to 2-0. 30 seconds into the third. Mamadov trying to hold on, leading 3-2. Doko trying to get to his feet and escape would tie it up at 3-3. Mamadov hold him off for the entire 2 minutes. As Doko began this third period on bottom. Already 1 minute gone by here in the third. Mamadov, strong wrestling so far in this bout. Trailed early, fought his way back, scored the last 3 unanswered points to take this 3-2 advantage. 45 seconds left to go here in the third. Coach Melendez cheering him on, trying to hold on. Doko trying to spin his way free, and he reverses it. Mamadov now trails 4-3. Now Doko trying to hold on for the final 20 seconds. But Mamadov turns the tables on him with a reversal. 5-4 lead now for the Fort Lee wrestler. Mamadov, a junior, trying to hold on here in the final seconds. And David Mamadov will score the second win in this bout here for Fort Lee on a thrilling 5-4 decision for the Bridgemen. Their first win since winning at 113 pounds. Again, we thank our sponsors here this evening. Lodi's lead is now trimmed 29-9 as we head to 157 pounds, and expected in the next two bouts that Lodi will not have a wrestler, so it will be forfeit victories for Fort Lee to pull them a little closer. (29-15) after that forfeit. Ryan Kim is victorious. Kim's first win of the season. And then it's expected here at 165 to be another forfeit. And the forfeit will go the way of Michael Gim. Gim, the junior, will pick up his first win. 29-21 now, the overall score. So it's still anyone's duel here as we head to the final 4 bouts of the evening here at 175 pounds. Angel Camillo for Lodi in the blue. Emilio Velasquez in the black for Fort Lee at 175. Fort Lee trailing by 8. The largest lead at one point was 23. Lodi led 29-6. But Fort Lee with that big win by decision by Mamadov at 150, along with back-to-back forfeit victories at 157 and 165, have put them right back within striking distance. 2-point takedown here for Velasquez. Obviously not only a win, but bonus points would be enormous here for Fort Lee. Camillo was kind of caught there in an awkward position. Velasquez trying to curl around and expose him. That was a tough takedown there by Velasquez. Camilo doing a good job of just finding himself. Camilo to his feet, trying to get free. Now it looks like a clasp. It was a 4-0 lead, now 4-1 after the legal move, the clasp. Camilo was sent down hard and looked like could be a great opportunity for Velasquez, just couldn't get to it. So I think they're resetting the score. It actually is 2-1. So after sorting everything out, it is a 2-1 lead for Velasquez of Fort Lee. 30 seconds left to go in the first period here at 175. Still a 2-1 lead for Velasquez. Camilo trying to get that late escape, and he does just before the end of the period. And Velasquez not able to score a takedown late in the period there, as it will be a 2-2 match heading to the start of the second at 175 pounds. Emilio Velasquez, a junior for Fort Lee, won by pin against Tenafly in the third period, and his first match on December 15th. Angel Camilo is a junior for Lodi. Camilo trying to use that lower gravity there to move forward. Velasquez doing a good job of withstanding that charge. Trying to work on the back of the left leg. And Camilo gets free with the escape and now will take a lead at 3-2, his first lead of the night. Velasquez fires a shot in the midsection, driving Camilo backwards, puts him on his back. Not only scores the takedown, now trying to put him in a tough spot here with potential back points being counted off. Referee just had one opportunity here, but did not see enough control to give more back points to Velasquez. Right now, he has just simply the 4-3 advantage on the takedown. No near fall. And Camilo gets free with the escape. It's now 4-4. Wrestling between these two sides. It has been fun the last couple of bouts where we have had combatants. 3 consecutive bouts that went by decision. Velasquez again dropping Camilo down. Now the control and the takedown. Camilo trying to keep off his back. There's the back points being counted off. Velasquez looking for what would be an enormous pin. 12 seconds left to go in the second here at 175. And Camilo will slither his way free. Is he out of the woods just yet? 2 seconds left. Velasquez with control, but not able to get the pin. Great defensive wrestling there by Camilo to stay off his back. The advantage and the near fall points given over to Velasquez, who will stretch his lead now to 9-4, heading into the third period at 175 pounds. Again, a pin would give the 6 team points to Fort Lee and make this overall duel A 2-point margin. That's why it would have been enormous. Right now, this would be a decision. We give 3 team points to Fort Lee. And obviously, you get the full complement of 6. Those are huge bonus points in the course of an overall team duel. Again, Velasquez will score the takedown against Camilo. They'll extend that lead now up to 7, 11-4. Velasquez trying to go with that run. Camilo has done a good job defensively of getting out of harm, trying to limit the damage and the approach. Both wrestlers go out of bounds to the top left-hand corner. 1:03 left to go in the third period at 175 pounds. Right now, Emilio Velasquez of Fort Lee in control, leading 11-4. But looking to create a little more bonus points action here on the team scoreboard for his side. Came close to potentially producing a pinfall victory late in the second period. But Angel Camilo of Lodi has done a great job of just doing enough to keep off his back. Right now, this would be simply a decision. Under 30 seconds left to go in the third. Still only a decision margin right now. It's 7. Cuts Camilo free. Trying to get that takedown. Camilo puts Velasquez to his back. That was dangerous for Fort Lee. Camilo almost had a heroic come from behind pinfall. And that's where in the sport of wrestling, a loss is as good as a win for Lodi overall on the team scoreboard. Camilo lost 11-7 on the decision, but Velasquez was looking for more than just the 3 team points. He'll have to settle for that. 11-7, another win for Fort Lee. They have now won 5 bouts here tonight. Lodi still in front overall on the team scoreboard, 29-24. As we head to the final 3 bouts of the evening. And by the way, at 285, Lodi not having a scheduled wrestler, so this could be enormous, these type of toss-ups here. Peter Rossi at 190. He's a senior for Lodi, taking on Jin Kim, who's a senior who lost by pin in his season opener against Tenafly last week. Kim versus Rossi. Rossi trying to push Kim forward. Kim doing a good job of getting out of initial trouble there. Rossi trying to shoulder him right back down. Good wrestling between both sides. Coming up on a minute gone by in the first period at 190 pounds, still scoreless. Bonus points of any nature for Lodi would make this very difficult in the final 2 bouts for Fort Lee to come back. Lead is 5 on the team scoreboard. .30 seconds left to go in the first. Kim trying to latch onto the back and a potentially dangerous move. A whistle stop of that advance. 22.4 seconds left to go in the first at 190. Still scoreless. Fort Lee trailed by as many as 23 in the team scoreboard. They have fought back to be down by only 5 here against Lodi. Down to the final 3 bouts of the evening. First period will expire. 2 minutes scoreless wrestling as we head now to the start of the second. Fort Lee will hit the road for their next 8 consecutive team duels and will be back home on January 24th against Mahwah. You can watch all the action that night live and on demand for free here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Kim scores the first point on the escape to begin the second. He leads 1-0. Kim in the black with the orange FL on the front. Lodi's Rossi and his blue singlet with the orange letter L on the front. "40 seconds into the second. Rossi aims with the back of the left leg. Connects on it. Can Kim hold him away? Kim does better than that. Scores the 2-point takedown to extend his lead now to 3-0. A minute into the second period at 190 pounds. 3-0 lead. Now for Fort Lee's Jin Kim. Kim trying to be in control. He scored all 3 of his points here in the second period. Under 30 seconds left to go. Rossi tries to get to his feet, thrown back down by Kim. Kim riding on top. Leading 3-0. 10 seconds left here in the second. Can Kim take this 3-0 lead? Will Rossi get a late escape? And he does. Another time that Lodi has had a flair for the dramatic in the course of this duel to score a late point in the late vestiges of a period. That proved to be so costly and a big reason why Fuller was able to win at 144 pounds by a 12-11 decision. Kim allows that late point. Is that going to come back to haunt him here as we go to the third period at 190 pounds? Once again, Peter Rossi of Lodi starting on bottom. He trails 3-1. Kim had an escape and a takedown, and Rossi had an escape of his own, accounting for his lone point in the third. Kim still riding on top of Rossi. 40 seconds gone by here in the third. A Fort Lee decision right now at this juncture would make this a 29-27 overall team score. Heading to the final 2 bouts of the evening. And again, there is no wrestler listed on the weigh-in sheet at 285 pounds. So if that's the case, that would be an automatic 6 points for Fort Lee. This could get very interesting very quickly for the Bridgemen if they can hold on here. Still 64 seconds left to go. Rossi tries to get to his feet, thrown back down by Kim. 1 minute remaining here in the third. .40 seconds left to go. Kim doing a good job of holding on to the back of the arm of Rossi. Rossi has been on bottom this entire third, has not gotten to his feet yet. Rossi trying to use that opportunity, and he gets the reversal late. Kim gave up the advantage with under 20 seconds left to go. Now the escape. Rossi cut him free. Can Jin Kim hold on to this lead? And he can. Rossi scores a takedown with under 3 seconds left to go. And Lodi somehow, some way, turns a 3-point deficit into a 1-point win late in regulation there in the third period. That was a really tough loss for Fort Lee, because not only did he have the 3-1 advantage late, but then it was the opportunity of, he went to 3-3, then Rossi actually cut Kim free, gave him the 4-3 advantage, and then a late takedown after Kim was kind of gassed and out of an opportunity. So Lodi will now lead 32-24 on the team scoreboard when it looked like it was destined to be a decision going the way of Fort Lee. Zacharias Saber, the junior for Lodi, taking on Miles Beckerman, the senior for Fort Lee. 8-point lead if Lodi wins here. This overall duel is done. And a takedown there for Beckerman. Beckerman trying to expose Saber on his back. Beckerman looking for the 6, and he gets it on the pinfall. Fort Lee with the pinfall victory has now cut into this lead 32-30. We thank our proud sponsors, as always, for helping to bring the sights and sounds of these broadcasts here. And this is scheduled to be the final bout at 285 pounds. That is a forfeit victory, and that means that Fort Lee has come from behind to defeat Lodi here tonight in their home opener by a final score of 36-32. That big matchup that was David Mamadov at 150 pounds, his 5-4 decision proves to be so valuable for Fort Lee at the end, because then they picked up those forfeits at 157, 165, and eventually a forfeit there at 285 pounds. Lodi will fall in their first duel of the season. Fort Lee goes to 1-1 on the year, and again, we'll next see them in action here at home on January 24th. So again, thank you to our sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction in Fort Lee, SC, for the support of these broadcasts. For Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long from East Gymnasium. Congratulations to Coach Melendez on his first coaching victory as the head man here at Fort Lee. Take care, everybody.